Oh my God. Yo, what's up? Welcome to a coaches meeting instant reaction mashup. I'm Grant Cohn. That's the coach. We called each other up this morning and trying to plan the show, think about what we're going to talk about. Yeah, we talk about Mike Evans a little bit more. We talk about Osa, you know what I'm saying? Osa, Bosa. And then 45 minutes before we go on, boom, boom, boom. Dre Greenlaw, Bryce Huff. So let's start with Dre Greenlaw. He's freaking back. 1 year, $7.5 million. Fan favorite, and is not Deebo Samuel. What are your thoughts on Dre Greenlaw 2.0?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, it's feel good moment. Can we just feel good for a second? Before we get cynical, before we get critical, all right? It feels good to have one of your old dogs back. All right. It feels good. Yeah. It feels good. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Grant. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, me and you, best content creator duo, we could really do a. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We can take it. Yeah, that's right.
We could. So look, I'm excited about Dre being back. Again, do I believe that Dre Greenlaw is going to come back and just turn the clock back? No, right? So we got to look at a couple of things. Dre Greenlaw's time in Denver, it was short-lived. He was available for 8 games, only had 7 starts. We're looking at a combination of 43 tackles, 15 solo tackles, 28 assisted tackles, only 2 tackles for loss, and 2 QB hits, right? So he played under expectation for them. It came to a point where the Denver Broncos needed to make a post-June 1 cut to save themselves some money, and they went ahead and signed, I think, Singletary, another linebacker that they had, for about 2 years, $15 million, and decided to save themselves $8 million and let Dre Greenlaw go. Now, we already know that he was laboring the Achilles injury, and the biggest nagging injury that kept coming back, as me and you looked at it before the show, was the quad. A lot of quad injuries and hamstring injuries, which to me,
he hit that in the offseason, yes, and it lingered, and he came back, and then he hurt his hamstring.
Right. Yeah. And for me, I think that a lot of that is emblematic of the Achilles not being all the way back. It being healthy, but favoring it, not trusting it, right? And your body basically favoring different injuries to compensate for that. Now, does that mean that Dre Greenlaw is just all of a sudden going to come back and be amazing for us? I doubt that, but I would love to get a guy back and give him the chance that he needs to get rest. One thing that you and I talk about all the time is just watching Dre Greenlaw's body break down until he finally got put down in that Super Bowl on air with the Achilles injury. I mean, in the playoffs, we talk about it regularly. Dre was not healthy, right? He's a physical style of player. And I just love that he gets to come back and play in a style of defense that he's used to. Now, one thing that I did look at is the one game that he did come back for us. That was 1 game back. He had 8 tackles, played 43% of the snaps, and he looked like Dre for about 20 minutes. I don't know if we'll ever get that back, but I'm just glad that, it's a low-risk situation. I believe we talked about him getting signed for $7 million for a year, so it doesn't hurt anybody. I'd love to see him back.
Yeah, if it works out, it's a great signing. It's a 1-year deal. It's a prove-it deal. He has rapport with Fred Warner. This is probably going to make Fred Warner a lot happier. I don't know how he feels right now, but that's his guy. So he has his guy back. That's a good thing. And if it doesn't work out, you still have D winners. You still have Nick Martin. So I don't know if he's good, but you tried to build for life after Dre Greenlaw, and you didn't get anyone as good as him, but you survived. So it seems like a very low risk thing. All you're risking is the Yorks $7.5 million, and I'm absolutely in favor of them spending it. I mean, they wanted to bring him back last year. They came close. In retrospect, they were smart not to. Let him go to Denver for a year and rehab there. He comes back. It's not like with Deebo. They wanted to get rid of Deebo. Deebo wanted to leave. It was on bad terms. I don't think it was ever on bad terms with Greenlaw. He might have been disappointed that the Niners weren't more eager to bring him back. But in retrospect, dude, they were right, and he must know it. And so he comes back, maybe a little more humble, and I think it could work if he stays.
Yeah, I do believe if he stays healthy, it could work. And then also, this is just another trend: the Miyagi Niners. Right? That's what we're going to start calling these guys, the Mr. Miyagi Niners. Some of these guys are going to come back and they're going to have to teach the younger guys under them how to go with this all gas, no brakes ethos that they came up with in 2019. You know, I'm not talking about reinventing the wheel, but there is something to be said that about this culture slowly but surely slipping away with some of the guys who had to leave out of this building. And Dre Greenlaw is one of them. It'll be amazing to have him back.
Isn't it funny how the Niners last year were talking about how they got to get younger and they got to get younger, and then this offseason they're like, psych, bring back Dre Greenlaw. Like, forget that whole plan. And I'm not against it because, again, the core of your team is all in their 30s. So unless you're great at drafting, I don't know what those guys – I think that they went young. I think they just wanted to go cheap because they gave so much money to like 8 players. Mm-hmm. So now Greenlaw's cheap and he's in their window. I don't know. Look, I think their defense needs to be the dominant force on their team. It was when they went to the Super Bowl the first time. Their offense is good, but it's the oldest offense in the league. And the offensive line isn't that good. I think it's more of a complementary offense. If you had an elite defense, you'd look at that offense as being like, man, that's a great complementary offense. So Greenlaw, we've always talked about it. He gives this defense teeth. Fred Warner's great, but he's not necessarily intimidating.
Let me ask you this, Grant.
Greenlaw is.
All right, so let's go expectations, right? And we're gonna do this with other guys, but so Dre Greenlaw's last healthy season was the Super Bowl year, 2023, right? He had 120 combined tackles for 75 solo and 45 assists, and 5 tackles for loss with 4 QB hits. So, what meets expectations to you to say that Dre Greenlaw being here was worth it? 10 games? Is he here 12 games? Does he have to be here the whole year? Are we talking 100 tackles? Like, let's get a barometer of where you think a Dre Greenlaw pickup would be worth it.
I mean, I'm not going to give an arbitrary number. If he's healthy down the stretch and a factor in December and January, it's worth it.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
So essentially, if he's there when you need him.
Yeah, exactly. But if he plays well the first 7 games, but then breaks down, it's like, okay, well, you got what you paid for, but it really wasn't worth the effort.
All of it, yeah. So,
and that's because kind of the same thing goes for Mike Evans.
Yeah, and that's essentially why that's what I was alluding to when I said we're going to do this with other players down the road. But for me, that's kind of like the lingering question when you get Dre Greenlaw back is that, all right, there's so much that could happen. There's so much that could happen bad in both ways. I guess the real question is like, all right, what does it mean to us to be worth it? Like, what's going to make it worth it, right? And I guess that's the question is,
it's not Dre Greenlaw has $30 million. If it was 3 years, $30 million, to be like, he needs to play 16 games and have like 100 tackles and be that guy. But that's not what this is.
Right. That's right. So relative to what we're paying him,
he kind of signed a similar contract. Like, it's a 3-year deal, but it's more like a 1-year deal that acknowledges where he's at.
Yeah. So we'll be able to get into that as well. But yeah, so basically he needs to be there when we need him.
Yep. All right, we got some super chats. Tyler Barton says, now all we need is Joey Bosa. You shut your mouth. And Debo back is kicked open. We're going to talk DN in a second. All Niners says, yo, the Niners aren't doing a rebuild. They're trying to do a NASCAR pit stop, and I'm with it, LOL. That's a pretty good metaphor. I was talking about this with you on the phone this morning. I feel like Bay Area teams are afraid to do full rebuilds because they're afraid to have empty state-of-the-art
It's
stadiums.
tough living out here, man. It's tough living out there. You got to pay bills, right? They can't afford it.
That's true. Baby Radiant says, I think Fred told them bring back Dre or trade me.
That's a little catty.
What do you know?
Yeah, right? Tell us what you know.
Well, there was that report that it was that bizarre report from Art Stapleton that the Niners might trade Fred if they get Greenlaw back. Well, they got Greenlaw back.
I mean,
I don't think they're trading Warner, but I wonder where that came from. Like what?
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't come out of nowhere. I'll give you that. You know what I mean?
Is it possible? Like theoretically, if if Fred Warner had like requested a trade for any reason, like we wouldn't necessarily know. He would.
That's true.
Unless he made it public, the Niners for sure wouldn't say anything. I'm just saying, theoretically. Yeah. Only way you'd find out is if like some other team said something. Daza says, "I'm happy that Dre came back, but yesterday, Clavon Chason, who's 27 and a good pass rusher, signed for $5 million more.
Commanders
for 1 year than Dre." All right, well, now you just got to, like, rain on our parade. We were having a great time celebrating Dre.
Can I say something about that, though?
It's Dre Day. What?
It is Dre Day. I'll say this. One thing that we always talk about is, like, you know, what the Niners could have done and what they should have done. But you do understand that it takes two to tango. Like, the player has to want to come to the 49ers as well. So even when you see what other players get and what they signed for, Clavon Chason is going to a team that's loaded with free agents, a young hot quarterback, and they're on a resurgence, bro. He's trying to go be somewhere quick and go get a deal. I don't think that a lot of people are going to be coming to the Niners for A, what we're probably offering them, and B, for what's on our roster currently. So, I mean, you got to also give a little bit of credence to the fact that the guys signing to us, they can see the team as well. They have visibility.
I mean, he went to Washington, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because they sort of have like the Niners shadow general manager, Adam Peters and John Lynch, pretty similar. And the Niners are often interested, the Niners and Commanders are often interested in the same players. I wouldn't have been mad at Chason. And they do need to address that other edge spot now that Bryce Huff's retired.
Bryce Huff is out
in a minute. They could get someone better than Chason. That's all I'm going to say. Hakeem the Dream says Greenlaw sucks. McCaffrey on his last legs and Trent Williams is ancient. Never practices. John Lynch is a horrible talent evaluator and is too emotionally tied to players, especially
Cabo adjacent players. Cabo adjacent. That's what we use here.
White players. Damn. Well, you said it, Hakeem, not me. I mean, woo. $20. Thank you. Hold on, I gotta drink some water.
Drink some water. Purify yourself.
And the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Thank you, Hakeem the Dream. I'm still kind of thirsty.
Grant is just coming from the gym, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
So, you know, he's got to hydrate. He's recovering right now. The things we do to keep content going.
Jewish guy says Dre has been my favorite player. Only jersey I own. Did they bring him back to make Fred happy amongst the rumors? It's funny how people don't forget.
The rumors.
The rumors. I don't know. But I had the same question, Jewish guy. The same question. Do you think when Fred Warner has his first press conference, it would be uncouth to be like, "Hey, Fred, did you request a trade this offseason?"
No.
Hey, Fred.
Because the report is legit.
What was that about?
Can we just keep it 1,000?
Yeah.
If there was anybody to ask that question. Come on. It'd be too easy.
Big 25 says proof head coach doesn't like coaching up young talent. Then he says can't do a rebuild if you don't know how to draft. Yup. Jimmy G says any solid corners left in free agency.
Give me a second.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Marcos Alvarado says wasn't a fan of the new scheme, but with this news, I'm all for the 3-4 base defense. Suits Dre with draft coming up. Do we prioritize a third linebacker, O-line, and safety? I mean, I'd like to think they'd prioritize offensive line at some point, but they won't. They definitely need a safety. Wouldn't be surprised if they went safety.
Yeah, we definitely need a safety. Basically, is he saying prioritize it in free agency or draft?
Draft.
Hello?
Draft.
Oh, draft. All right. There's safeties either way. Jaquan Brisker is out there, man. What do you think about Jaquan Brisker? I love that pickup. Yeah.
Tyler Barton says, can we talk about how the Niners holding Aiyuk for funsies, making dude suffer, LOL? Do I want to talk about that?
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that, but let's like give it a proper topic a little bit later in the show as opposed to doing it now. Good call, Tyler. I do want to talk about that. Ramelia RSR says, Lynch loves signing players who can't stay healthy.
True.
They bring in all these guys with injury histories and they act like injuries are just random. It's like, well, you can't predict injuries. Well, no, but you can kind of
stay away from them.
You kind of can though. All right, so let's the other news from today. Bryce Huff announced his retirement. Kind of surprising. He's not that old. So good for Bryce. Hell of a career, set for life. Thanks to the Eagles. What does this mean for the 49ers though? Now they got a pretty big hole at the other edge. Unless you think Mykel Williams can be a full-time edge rusher. What do you think?
All right. So as far as let's just set the table. We were horrible at getting the quarterback, period. Okay, so let's just start from where we are. I think we're last in pressure rate, last in sacks. I mean, just one of the most horrible performances of going to get the quarterback in defensive history. Bryce Huff, on the other hand, was a bright spot in that turd, which was 4 sacks, 31 sack yards. He led the team with about 15 pressures and 6 tackles for loss. So he's basically like the best guy that we had statistically going to get the quarterback. So that is something that we do lose that production. However, I think that he would have been a great depth piece to set the floor of what our defensive line could be. Not necessarily anything that could be our ceiling. I do believe that this accelerates the path of Mykel Williams. He's got to play right away and get on the field. Right now, I think that there's guys in free agency, Grant, that they can go get. Like the kid Ibiketti from Atlanta. He's out there right now. The Niners can go get him. There's like about 8 edges that are available in free agency right now. And for where they got right now, Ibiketti is somebody that I love because he's coming from Atlanta. Raheem Morris already knows him. I think that would be somebody that would be able to help them out. And then also in the draft, AJ Epineza is still out there. I don't know if you really want to go with the older player, but you do have Cam Jordan, Hassan Reddick, which he did just ask for a trade, and Jadeveon Clowney and Kyle Van Noy. So there's guys out there. If I'm being fair, Joey Bosa is out there too. But so all of those guys that I just named, as far as just the production alone, those guys could be able to mimic or do a little bit more than what Bryce Huff did. I'm sad to see him go. I did see a path for him. He is a younger player, but I don't necessarily think that this really tips the scales of anything because we were just so bad at going to get the quarterback anyway.
I don't know. I just feel like he had one good year with the Jets, one really good year with the Jets, got paid. Wasn't good in Philly, came here, had a couple moments, but really wasn't that much better here than he was in Philly. And then Saleh left. And if Saleh doesn't want to bring you with him to Tennessee, you might be out of luck. So I was kind of expecting the Niners to cut Bryce Huff. I just don't think he's a 4-point stance guy. He has to be in that like track stance. I don't know if Raheem Morris wants to coach that. And again, he's not that great to like, and he's very specific and he doesn't stop the run. So what I want to say is I don't think this affects the Niners that much. I think they might have been looking for a new edge rusher anyway. What I don't really want them to do is draft it just because they suck at it. You tried to draft it last year. You took Mykel Williams. He's not an edge rusher. You were talking about how putting him in the wide 9 was going to unlock his skill set. No, he's an interior rusher and an edge setter. So you tried. You're like 1 for 10 in drafting pass rushers. You got Bosa, right? So you traded for Osa Odighizuwa. Great. I think the next pass rusher should be someone else that you trade for or sign. Someone who you know exactly what he can do. Not one of these like, Chris Kasarik will coach him up. Who? When did that happen? That's my question.
Yeah, Coach Kasarik gets a lot of credit for guys coming in here and basically just getting a different scenery.
Mykel has no bag. But he'll have Chris Kasarik. So? Okay, sorry.
Do it, bro.
Did you ever watch the Marx Brothers?
No.
Old. This is old. Anyway, one of them is never talks, and he's like gets up in front of Congress one time to give a speech, and you're like, oh my God, he's about to talk, and he just drinks water the whole time. He's like,
oh, okay, something kind of like a Penn and Teller type
yeah, it's like
gag.
A really old bit. Yeah, it was a bit. Sorry, Marx Brothers. Jews. Funny Jews. Humors. So look, Bryce Huff, as long as it's not Joey Bosa, it's going to be Joey Bosa, huh? Look,
I think it might be Joel Bosa. I think that AJ Epineza signed, but I really would like to pick him up at edge. I think Epineza will be really good for us. He's fairly young. He's 27 years old. He's a quality edge, and he fits in, is strong. He does a lot of dirty work where he came from, which was the Bills. I think that it'd be really good to pick him up.
Okay. I'm going to give a suggestion who they should get at the end in a minute. I don't want to go there just yet because I want to talk about Mike Evans. Mike Evans was signed a few days ago. We haven't streamed since that happened. It was their first big move. He had his introductory press conference today on Zoom with the local writers, and he had like a cool line. He was like, like, why did you want to come here? He's like, well, they seem like they're one piece away, and I'm that piece. Oh,
he ain't say that.
He said that. He said, I feel like they're one piece away, and I'm that piece. So my question to you to kick off the Mike Evans discussion is, do you agree?
No, I don't agree. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, man. This team lost 41-6, dude. Like, maybe, probably not.
I thought that he got it. I don't know. Maybe if I really did. I thought that he got it. I thought that he understood. Now, the latter part of what I thought that could have happened is starting to make sense, which is Mike Evans basically either was going to get demoted or he wants to be the number one guy with all the targets. That's what he wants because Egbuka and what's the other receiver over there that they just signed? Chris Godwin is over there, and he was getting phased out. Especially with his injuries. And now that he's over here, he sees a vacant spot, basically with no competition. He's going to come here and he's going to get,
no Aiyuk, no
he's going to come in here and get all of the targets, and they're already giving him carte blanche respect. He's coming in here to get a shine job. Like, yo, dude, this ain't what you think it is.
Yeah.
I hope you know that, Mike. This is not what you think it is. Like, making comments like, they're one piece. You know what that sounds like?
What?
That's equivalent to when Melo came from New York. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, you're going to be a meme so fast if you get hurt. Like,
you better chill out.
God. Why do you say things like this?
Hey, P, they think I'm coming off the bench. They think I'm coming off the bench. Yeah. So look, I love his attitude. But I think that the Niners are in the right direction, honestly. I'm happy with our offseason. But one player away, my dog, relax. You pace yourself there, buddy. You know what I mean?
The way I look at it is even if he stays healthy and has he wasn't even great in 2024. He missed 3 games in 2024, but he still got to 1,000. If he could do that again, I still think they're third best team in their division. Not by a ton, but I still think they're a move away, a big move away. And I'm going to propose one in a minute. I don't want to talk about it yet. Don't even guess what it is.
I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to steal your thunder.
I love his confidence. That's probably what makes him him. But, I mean, this kind of reminds me of when the Niners signed Pierre Garçon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle has a little bit of a history of bringing in wide receivers who are a little bit past their prime. They brought in Emmanuel Sanders at about the same age. He was good for 2 months. And then they're like, we're not going to press our luck. We're going to cash in our chips. And they were right. And now they're kind of desperate and they're going. I kind of feel like Kyle is a Mike Evans fan. He's been looking at him what I could do with him. And it's a little late. And I bet you what he did was he dazzled him in the interview. Like, dude, this is how I would use you, man.
I know, bro. You know he did
here and there. And I bet he was sitting there like, yes, talk dirty to me, man. Talk to me.
I got my. Say it to me again. You say it yo. I'm telling you, dog. I think that a lot of that is respect. Kyle is known to fawn over well-known guys in the league. He's always done that. He does it with Trent. He does it with Nick. He does it with Fred. He does it with Christian.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like it's like you're not their coach. You're kind of like a super fan that just won a sweepstakes to get to coach him for a season. Like, you're that grateful to have him. I do believe that Mike Evans is, I don't know, man, maybe he needs a wake-up call into understanding what this really is. You're here to get these rookies ready, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And you were here. This is like back in the day. Like, you didn't always have Baker Mayfield. This is going to be a tough sledding situation as you as X, because we haven't had one. So I just want him to be healthy.
Forget the injuries for a second, but the fit. His whole career, he's been playing with Baker, Brady, Jameis, guys with big arms, and he's very much like a back shoulder fade merchant. He can do more than that. But that's his bread and butter, man. The fade and the back shoulder fade. And he's had quarterbacks who can throw that pattern well. Is that Brock? I don't know. I know he likes Jennings because Jennings runs over the middle, and Brock is great at layering passes over the middle, over linebackers in front of safeties. Those back shoulder fade, you gotta like drive the ball. You gotta drive it. And that's, I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how it all fits in, especially with him. Now, one thing that we do have to close with, which is fair to say about Mike Evans, all of those 1,000-yard seasons, the consistency looks like as if he had a franchise quarterback all of those years. He did not. There's been a revolving carousel of quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, by the way, which was a new one that he didn't really gel with in Tampa along his career. And he's been able to kind of brute force his way to a consistent Hall of Fame career. So one thing that I will say that we can't mischaracterize the fact that he knows how to adapt. He's done it his entire career. So let's just at least give him that.
I feel like Kyle's hoping he can use Evans the way he used Julio, but when he was coaching Julio was 26.
Julio was Julio.
Julio was Julio. So
yeah.
Look, I'm going to get into who I think the Niners should trade for in a second.
Yeah, first, out with it, man. You keep teasing it.
I want to shout out AG. I'm going to make you wait. Shout out the great AG1 who sponsored my channel, my show this week. They've been sponsoring my general health for like the last few months, and I want to just here we go. It's challenging to stay consistent as schedules shift in the spring. Take advantage of more daylight and kickstart your mornings with one simple scoop. Most supplements overcomplicate things with tons of pills and confusing timing. An impossible schedule to maintain long term. AG1 simplifies your nutrition. Multivitamin, pre and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants. I can't even pronounce the stuff in here. All in one scoop, first thing in the morning. And the benefits are energy. We got superfoods and B vitamins in AG1 that provide nutritional support to help you stay steady and consistent. Daily energy support to keep you moving through the spring. As you can see, I've been moving. Immune health, daily immune support that helps you stay at your best, powered by antioxidants, probiotics, and functional mushrooms. I haven't gotten sick recently. I credit to the functional mushrooms. I don't even know what they are, but they're functional, and they're mushrooms. Gut health, AG1 Next Gen delivers 5 strains of clinically studied probiotics that have been shown to support digestion, immune function, and alleviate occasional bloating. I haven't felt bloated in days. Go to drinkag1.com/cone to get an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 and K2 for free in your AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order. Only while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/cone. I hate when I'm drinking like a latte, you know what I'm saying? I get all farty and bloaty. AG1. AG1.
I use shea butter.
Well, you can do that too.
There you go.
All right, so it's time. It's time to talk about the missing piece.
Let's go.
I like what the Niners are doing this offseason. They're improving their team. Mike Evans could be good. Osa Odigizua is good. Dre Greenlaw could be good. I feel like the Seahawks are taking a step back. They lost their running back. They lost their offensive coordinator. Devontae Adams is old. Stafford could fall off a cliff at some point. He will. So I like the idea of the Niners actually going for it. You didn't want them to go for it last year. I get it. They were hurt. But this is another year, and they're not getting younger. I'm looking at Maxx Crosby. Something happened over there. Hold on. Let me just make the case real quick.
Okay.
You don't have to give up 2 firsts for Maxx Crosby anymore. He went to Baltimore. They took a look at him. They gave him a physical, and they're like, thinks we would rather have 31-year-old Trey Hendrickson who missed half the year last year. It seems like maybe there's something chronic with that knee. That it could be bone on bone, it could be arthritic, it could be something that's never going to fully heal, which means he could still have a few more good years, but it could cut short his career. Kind of like Todd Gurley. So if that's the case, I mean, I don't see anyone offering any first-round picks for Maxx Crosby anytime soon. And the Raiders could hold on to him for a year and try to rehabilitate his value and trade him next year, but it's complicated because it seems like maybe, possibly, it's something weird and personal between Crosby and Brady, man. It seems like Brady wants to run him out of there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like now is an opportunity. It's kind of like when the Niners traded for Dee Ford. He had a back issue, and the Chiefs knew it, and the Niners knew it, but the Niners were like, dude, we're one freaking player away. If we could just get Dee Ford and keep him upright for 1 year, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And they almost did. It was this close. I feel like this is a similar move. He's better than Dee Ford was. If you get Maxx Crosby and put him on the D-line with Osa Odigizua and Nick Bosa, dude, you win the Super Bowl. You win. You freaking win. You beat the Rams. You beat the Seahawks. You give yourself a real chance, and I feel like you should be looking for that move. Maybe there's another move that can put you over the top. I feel like you are one move away. It ain't Mike Evans. I think it's Maxx Crosby. And again, I don't know what they're doing over in Raiderland. I don't think they know what they're doing in Raiderland, but I'd be calling them up. And I say, look, I'll offer you a second-round pick this year or a first-round pick next year, and it's a conditional first based on his playing time. If he misses the whole season, it's a second. But if he plays most of the year, I'll give you a first. See if you can find a better deal than that. Or bring him back, Brady, and see if you guys can coexist. Because something tells me you and Maxx Crosby can't coexist. Am I wrong? That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
I don't like it, dude. No
Really?
way.
Why?
No, we're not a player away, bruh. That's number one. We are not a player away. We don't know what Nick Bosa is going to be coming back. We don't know what Mykel Williams is going to be coming back. That's just a foregone conclusion that those guys are coming back off of knees and they're going to be exactly what they're supposed to be. And on top of it, even if Mykel Williams is healthy, him be able to take the next step. If Crosby comes on, who's your starting four? Nick Crosby, then you're going to bump Alfred Collins or Osa Odigizua because Mykel Williams has to play, or you're going to bench Mykel Williams and then go get Maxx Crosby. You just drafted him 11th overall.
Mykel Williams, his one sack from last year, find a place for
I
him.
don't care about the man, but dude, we're not going to stop everything from Maxx Crosby, Grant. I mean, get it real.
We're not. Right. You say you're not a player away. That's debatable, but it's like this team isn't building for the future anymore. The whole get younger thing went out the window. We're signing Mike Evans and Dre Greenlaw. Like, I think you should continue adding. And look, I'm not saying trade 3 first-round picks for someone, but Maxx Crosby seems like you can now get him for a discount. I think the Niners should be interested.
I think the discount stops. I think the discount stops once compensation is over because once we have to trade for him, transactions, because we still got to pay him. And what's that going to look like? 30 a year?
No. Yeah, 29, which is freaking a bargain compared to Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett. Like the DN market right now is outrageous. This guy is signed through 2029, I believe. He has no guaranteed money after this upcoming season. I do.
So now we got. Now in next offseason, we got Maxx Crosby.
Nick Bosa in the future. He's a great player. He never comes off the freaking field. I don't know that you can get him, man. I don't know what the Raiders are planning on doing.
I don't think there's anything.
I'm calling their bluff here. I don't think they want him on the team. I don't think Brady wants him around. I think something happened. I love Maxx Crosby. I think Maxx Crosby said something to Brady.
You think
Brady's,
so?
Couldn't take it. Because remember, they shut down Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby is the guy who doesn't come off the field. Clearly, he didn't want to get shut. He doesn't want to tank. He doesn't give a damn about tanking or the number 1 pick. He wanted to play. And then I bet you Brady had the final call. And then we all know where Brady was on New Year's with Leonardo DiCaprio and Braxton Berrios' ex-girlfriend. I wouldn't be surprised if Maxx Crosby called him up and let him shoot him out.
That's a deep pull. Shoot
him out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brady was like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? And Max was like, I'm freaking Maxx Crosby. That's who I am. And I don't know, man. I just
you got it all figured out.
Something happened between them. Like we were hearing that they were going to trade Maxx Crosby at the end of the season. Like, why? He's a great player. He's a great player. And now you're not going to get 2 first-round picks for him, but you're still going to trade him? Why?
I do believe that there is something to be said about why the Ravens backed out. I think that they picked up on Trey Hendrickson and realized that they had a for sure deal, and then they kind of got buyer's remorse. I mean, even their deal alone, that's not what they do. Trading for guys early and giving up picks. I don't know. I just don't think.
We were talking on the phone a couple months ago, and you were like, "Look, Grant, if the Niners had a real great D line, it'd be a game they could really beat the Seahawks." If they could shut down the Seahawks running game, if they could get pressure on Sam Darnold, you can beat the Seahawks.
That would break everything down.
The Seahawks don't even have a running back anymore. If the Niners could roll out Crosby, Bosa, Michael Williams, and Odigizua against anyone, dude, they could beat anyone, any given Sunday. I would go for that. Like,
why are you trying to sway me on camera?
And you have good points, and you don't want. I'm always the guy saying trade all the picks and go all in. But at a certain point, it makes sense to go all in. And I feel like it isn't a 2 first-round trade, and you're not actively trying to get younger anymore. So go
compensation again. What would you give up? What would you give up?
I feel like I want to make one more move, man. You can't tell me that this team is there. But if you add Maxx Crosby, I feel like this team could beat anyone. Maybe I'm tripping.
What would you give up? Let's talk about it. What would you give up?
I would give up the conditional first in 2027. I'd give up a conditional first in 2027 and start there. And I might even give up another pick this year. Now, I'm not going to give up you give up a second this year or a conditional first next year.
So one pick.
I don't think you need to offer that much more than that. I don't think you need to because, again, I think something weird happened between Brady and Crosby, and I don't think Brady wants him in the organization.
He doesn't want him there anyway.
Tom. Prove me wrong, Tom. I don't think
I just heard reports. I just heard reports that the Raiders aren't taking calls for trades and that they're keeping them. Now, obviously, that's to strengthen that's to strengthen the leverage. So when they do put him back out there, everybody will say, I thought they were done with him. So that's what all of that's about.
They could have brought Crosby to the combine and let every team's doctors check him out. But now you got the Ravens, the word of the Ravens doctors, and they haven't even really said what the issue is. But like one team checked him out, didn't like it, and you're like, oh shit, is it chronic? Is it arthritic? It's arthritic.
And you know what sucks about that too is that NFL team physicals are not standardized. So it's not like they're attached to the CBA. They're discretionary, which means that a team can give you whatever type of physical that they feel that you need to be able to feel okay. And so really they could be blowing smoke, to be honest. He really could be perfectly healthy. He didn't want to stop playing in the season. That has to be said. He may be back.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dirty of the Ravens if there's really nothing wrong with him, for them to just back out because they found out that they could get Trey Hendrickson at a better deal.
That's life. Tom Jensen says, do not give up the 2027 first, best draft in over a decade. Hold on, though. You could trade the first for Maxx, and then next year you could trade Bosa for a first if you really needed it. I'm just saying, you could get a first-round pick back. I think Maxx Crosby, I'm saying he's a good investment. He may have an arthritic knee, but it's like, you're literally not building for the future. This is it, dude. Like, this is it.
I mean, he's a legit guy.
You got Trent. You would have to move on from. You got Trent for one more year, man. That's all you know.
Either way, something's going to have to happen. And getting Maxx Crosby will put Nick Bosa on notice because you can't keep them both.
If you had Maxx
and
Crosby,
Nick's not taking pay cuts,
that defensive line would be sick. The secondary would get better because the quarterbacks would have to get rid of the ball way faster. The defense would be the dominant portion of the team. The offense could be along for the ride. It could be like, chewing up clock, time of possession. That team would be. Now, of course, the substation, the training staff, the age of the team, everyone could get hurt. But if they trade for Maxx Crosby,
and then making swings like this, making swings like this from the coaching staff, that's implications of like expectations. Like, you guys better go win. Like you just said, it looks good on the front end if everybody's healthy and then go do your thing. But just one guy gets hurt. These guys, it doesn't happen with all of that money standing on the sidelines. That's the death warrant for this coaching staff. I don't think they would go out on a limb like that to just put themselves completely up against the wall with no back doors where it's like, you got Maxx Crosby. You went out and found your guy. Like, what's the excuse now? I don't think they will put themselves in that position, to be honest.
I don't think they will either. That's why I'm trying to force their hand.
Okay.
Man up. You're right there. You're right freaking there. And if it ain't Maxx, then give me something else that's creative. Because you know what? I love the Oso Diggy trade. That was great. I thought it was terrific. You gave up a 3rd-round pick. You got a guy in his prime
Shrewd.
who has missed 1 game in his career. Again, I don't think it makes you the Super Bowl favorite, but it makes you better. In a vacuum, I love the signing or the trade. In the broader context of the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch tenure, I find it funny that it took him 6 years to fix the DeForest Buckner mistake that they made.
I was waiting for you to say that. I was hoping you didn't forget as I say that.
That's how big of a freaking mistake that was. But at least they got him. They got Osa.
No, it took 6 years, bro. And he's better than what DeForest Buckner is now. But ultimately, that was the first original sin, was letting go of Defoe. We should have never did that.
We can replace DeForest Buckner. Sure.
6 years to finally get a guy in there that's comparable.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, it wasn't just a 3rd-round pick to replace DeForest Buckner. It was Kinlaw, who was the
first round.
It was Michael Williams, who was the first. It was Javon Hargrave, who's $80 million. It was Alfred Collins, who was the second. And then you got Osa. So this is, again, the lesson here is don't freaking trade a 25-year-old foundational player. Don't do it, because they're not that easy to freaking replace.
And I love that you started that with the hubris, like not understanding that having 2 D tackles like that is rare. You don't find that shit hanging around, bro. No. And you have that. You covet that. You let go of the other bullshit. Don't play with that. So yeah.
It was like, we didn't draft him, and he's not really our guy. So we're gonna get cute here. Like, DeForest Buckner, not only was he great and durable, but he was like a senator. He was very much a captain, and then you replace him with Javon Kinlaw, who was a medical question and like very much not a leader. It's like, okay, well, that's a lot of pressure. And you gave him Buckner's number. Then you gave all the money that you were unwilling to give Buckner. You gave it to Hargrave, who wasn't half the player Buckner was. So strange.
Yeah, he just got released.
Yeah.
The Vikings just released him.
But no, I like this guy. I think that having an interior pass rusher is probably the best interior pass rusher they've had since Buckner. Better than a Menahue and Arden Key. And so he should make Bosa better. I think Osa and Bosa should be a good combination, side by side. Osa and Bosa. Bosa and Osa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they need an edge rusher. And
they need one. You think they're going
to? If it's Bosa and Osa, I don't like it. One Bosa.
Bosa and Osa?
No.
Nosa. Nah. Oh, I don't want Joey Bosa. Like I said, they can go get the kid from Buffalo. Outside of that, I don't know, like maybe a Jadeveon Clowney, go get a hired gun. That's how I looked at, that's how I saw Bryce Huff anyway. I saw him as kind of like a specialist, really, to be here. And, you know, you can get a specialist, and Jadeveon Clowney's there. Like you said, Calvin Noya's there. Al-Quadin Muhammad is there. So you can go get these guys, and, you know, they'll come in for a good price and play instead of where he's at. But I do think that this for sure says that they're going to go get an edge in the draft. They need to go get another edge. We need another young edge.
They do. Drewish guy says, I think they draft all offense this year. Okay, we'll see. Dennis McCrae says, get Crosby on the other end and our defense is back. Thank you, Dennis. Scuba Pat says, Coach, did you see what Hushmanzada said about Aiyuk? LOL.
Yeah.
Our first legit X. LOL. All love, bro. We're going to talk Aiyuk right after this. So stand pat. That's going to be our last topic. In Ev, we trust, says CJ Gardner-Johnson would be so nice on our defense. Be perfect, man. 30.
Has he been injured?
I don't know. If he's healthy, then maybe they pass. John Lynch is god-awful, says Hakeem.
Hakeem is jumping off the third turnbuckle.
Jonathan Ray says Jews are being really funny right now. Thank you very much for that. What Chase said, happy Friday Eve, boys. Fred's wife just posted on Instagram her excitement for Fred and Dre back together. Safe to say he didn't request a trade. Is that how
what do you think? That? That's not how you determine that.
Interesting. But I do think that checking her Instagram was very smart. And I think the fact that she's very happy about Greenlaw coming back might stop calling me.
You know who's probably the last guy that you would see on a Cabo trip? Dre Greenlaw.
Oh my God. Ever. Yeah, so like that's true. We talk about how this team has a Cabo clique. There's like an anti-Cabo clique on it.
There is an anti-Cabo clique. That's what I was getting at.
I'm saying like Fred's in it, Greenlaw's in it, and maybe Fred felt like
Demo is in it.
Like I'm the only guy who's not part of this country.
Yeah, we need our numbers back.
You got rid of Armstead. You got rid of
Huff. You got rid of my dogs, Jimmy Ward. Let's say you can't say it, but I can say it. You got rid of all of the bruhs, man. Stop playing with me, man. I want my dogs back.
I don't golf.
I'm
not a big Cabo guy.
Cabo's not really that interesting to me, you know?
We're more of like a Bahamas kind of a family. I'm just saying. But it seems like they're happy now. What you talk about, Willis, says Kittles was on some pod saying there used to be trees in between the station and the practice field long ago and said they had no leaves. Care to verify that it's true. That is true. And then they went and got rid of the trees, which makes me feel like they're covering something up. Kilo TW says quality control is the reason that Lynch and Kyle are still Dre. Glad he's back. Still
Dre, dog.
Still. Well, how'd the chorus go? Hitting them corners and them lolos, dog. Taking my time.
Still.
Because I still
got love for the streets. It's the DRE.
Didn't Eminem like write that whole
album?
album?
Them lolos, girls. I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Yeah. That's how he used to go so
cool,
hard.
but like now he's not, and like just listening to him, and it's like, man, you and Martha Stewart. I just
and I still got love for the streets. It's the DRE.
Yeah, man, watch out if you see Snoop coming. Oh man, he might sell you something. Josh says, "Hi, coach." Marco says Bosa shipped out.
What's up, Josh?
Draft day. Do you like wide receiver Brazil? I don't think they're shipping out Bosa, man.
You don't like that?
I don't think they're shipping out Bosa this year.
Oh no, there's no way.
How do you feel about Brazil? I don't have an opinion.
I like Chris Brazzell, big time receiver from Tennessee. I want to say he's about 6'4", 6'5". Big speed, Grant. Big speed. 4.3 runner. Think he's a little bit too much for us. I would draft him, but you know what? It'd be awesome to see him get brought up by Mike Evans because they have kind of like the same game in a sense.
Yeah. Be cool. All Niners
like Chris
says,
Brazzell.
what do you think the plan is at running back behind CMC? No plan.
I mean, get Jordan James going. He's got to get on the field.
Slick says Mac for Greenard straight up. They're asking for a first for Greenard and Addison. I don't think. And then Niners are asking for a first for Mac Jones. Greenard would be good. Grenard.
Yeah.
Grenard. I'd just get Maxx Crosby, but Grenard would be cool too. Joseph Ernberg says, can't wait to see Mike knock out BP after 2 throws.
What about Jordan Addison?
It's a Bosa line. Yeah. Old Fogey says, holding Aiyuk out of spite is a soft-ass sucker move. It gives some insight as to why he was willing to give up $27 million to get away. Money ain't everything.
We're going to get to it.
Talk about that next. Interesting perspective. Baby Radiant says, trade the substation to Raiders for Maxx Crosby. Marcos Alvarado says, Bosa to LV and include a second. Crosby is better than Bosa, right? I want them both for a year, though. That's the point.
Right? Yeah.
Sean for the win says, Kyle Shanahan about to spam Evans the way he spams. I completely agree. He always looking for a new spam button. Grant, stop it. This team is not a Crosby away when the O-line is weaker than Dollar General toilet paper.
Come on, Grant. You got it. You got to admit that.
Man, didn't we see how mediocre the league was last year, dude? Every team has problems.
A weak offensive line. That's true.
And the Seahawks were the closest thing to a juggernaut, and they came back to earth. Like, Charbonnet's out. Walker's gone. Woolen's gone. Kubiak's gone. Just stop being scared, Sean, for the loss. I'm just kidding. Justin XN says, don't think this team should trade their top picks this year. Spend 27 and 58 on DB wide receiver. This is still a slow football team, even with the signings of Evans and Greenlaw, Omar Cooper, Zach Branch, Terrell. Good names. Okay. Okay. TMT says we replaced Buckner with who? Osa? Not so sure. Yeah. Rogue says, why not go after Marvin Harrison Jr.? He's on the block, and can be flipped next season for a back because he's terrible. He's not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The name is kind of hiding the production.
If his name was Marvin Smith, he wouldn't even have been a first.
Yeah.
Sean for the win says, how many good knees would be on this D with Crosby?
Right. Come on. Thank you. Sean firing back at you. Defend yourself, Sean. Get up.
Good point. Silas says, what about adding Tyler Linderbaum or Rasheed Walker? Linderbaum's on the Raiders.
Linderbaum's the highest paid center in NFL history.
Rasheed Walker would be a good replacement if they got rid of Trent Williams. Lysol, the Cabo Click, says Akeem the Dream. All day, every day. Kim says, Dre's the Energizer Bunny, similar to Quan Alexander. Coach, I don't want to hear you talking about brothers ever again, and you know why. What?
Oh, I know what this guy does. This black people love to kind of like police each other as if we know each other's blackness. He's insane. Go ahead.
Tashu says still need to address the O-line. No, they don't. They don't do that. Josh Wyatt says there is one last dog we all need them to bring back. Anyone heard from Dante Pettis? All right, we got one more topic, but before we do, I want to shout out the other sponsor for this week's show, Mint Mobile. I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up with crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run and switched to Mint Mobile. Now, I want to tell you, Dave Barclay, who's always in the comment section, used my promo code, switched to Mint Mobile. He could tell you he went from paying like more than $300 a month to paying like $200 $205 a year with Mint Mobile. That's a big difference. Stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint exists purely to fix that. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Bring your own phone number, activate with eSIM in minutes, and start immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan required. That's the equivalent of $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Save yourself a bunch of money. All right, the final question is, well, the fact is the Niners are holding Brandon Aiyuk hostage. And we don't know exactly why. We don't know exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's well within their right to hold him hostage, just like it was within his right to walk away from the team. I guess one question is, do you have a problem with what they're doing? Mm-hmm. But the other question is, are they helping themselves by holding him hostage? I guess those are the two questions. Do you have like a moral issue with it? And then more from the pragmatic sense, is it beneficial to them in any way to do this? Those are the questions.
Right. So both answers for me will be no. I don't have a problem with them holding him, and I don't think this helps them from a pragmatic standpoint.
I agree.
I don't have a problem with them holding him because all's fair in business. Brandon Aiyuk is an independent contractor. He is not an employee of the 49ers. That means that he polices himself, all right, and he has to adhere to what the 49ers lay out to him contractually. Now, does that mean that the 49ers understand that Brandon Aiyuk is a young man that they've had to support throughout his career, and they understand where his weaknesses are, and they preyed on those weaknesses in moments to get out of a contract? That could be true too, all right? And that could be unfair. Right. Yep. But at the same time, Brandon Aiyuk has left a lot on the cutting room floor for the Niners to be able to perform in the way they have been as far as not giving him any contingencies. So it all plays fair. If you want to get into the who's wronger than who debate, nobody's right. Nobody's going to come out with this. All right. So I'll say that. Now, Brandon Aiyuk, it still stands.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
People being like, man, screw him, man. I hope they hold on to him. Like, let's really stick it to him. And I get that, because if you're a fan of the team or you're on the team, you feel like he, tried to ruin your season. But again, at what cost? At what cost? Or at what benefit?
Yeah, right. And there's a world where Brandon Aiyuk was ready to play last year and didn't play the entire season because the 49ers were hell-bent on getting out of that contract. That's a scenario that the Niners have to own as well, if that were true. So there's two sides of both stories that make each party look very irresponsible and ugly. All right, and it would be smart to step back and understand that we are not smart enough to be able to tell who from who. We're not. Okay, so that's the part where we have to step back. Now, as far as the 49ers are concerned, they better calm down on how they're treating Brandon Aiyuk, because he's not the last player that they're going to have to sign. He's not the last player that they're going to have to be able to ingratiate into their building and trust and give money to. And this moving forward is just a bad look, because it shows what you're willing to do when you're upset, because that's what they're not understanding, is that everybody in the league understands that you're well within your right to do what you're doing. But the fact that you're exercising this is what can hurt you in the future. So it all plays, right? The Niners, they're hurting themselves by holding on to Brandon Aiyuk, but they are well within their right to do so. And there is nobody that should make them feel bad for doing it. And Brandon Aiyuk as well, he's sitting there and he needs to be let go. But the only reason why Brandon Aiyuk is being held right now instead of being put back into the market is for a lot of his own self-inflicted actions. That counts as well.
Sure. All I would say is I'm not like a bleeding heart Brandon Aiyuk defender, because again, I don't even know what he did. I'm talking about this from the Niners perspective. You want to get back at him and be petty, and like he wants to get away from you going to Washington. You don't want to facilitate that. I completely get it, man. Part of me would feel that way too. I'm Jewish, eye for an eye. You mess with me, I mess with you. I get it. But you went through this 2 years ago. The Aiyuk drama, the Trent Williams drama. And you're doing it again. He's still on the team. Trent Williams wants an extension but hasn't gotten it yet. One of the things you talked about last year was, look, you know, we have this longer off season. We're refreshed. We don't have any drama. We made a point of having no drama. If you have an issue, you can't be here. Like the only guy they had an issue with was Jauan Jennings, and he didn't really press it, and they worked it out. And I think they sort of pointed to that all year. Like, well, we're just a much more cohesive, tight-knit team. All right, well, don't go back. Holding on to Brandon Aiyuk doesn't help you in any way. You're not going to get anyone to trade for him. It just keeps him in the conversation, in the consciousness. And God forbid he's still on the roster when OTAs start and there's press conferences. Then that's a question for every coach, for every player. Have you talked to Brandon? Is he coming back? Is it possible? Like, end that. Why are you bringing that? Why do you want that? You gain nothing by keeping him here other than it feels good to mess with him. I get that.
Yeah, and also, too, this is on the organization as well. We can't sit here and act as if you guys are in a reactionary position, right? You guys are proactively doing this, all right? So what you did was you made sure that you got Brandon Aiyuk away from the team, and he didn't respond, so you voided the money. Once you voided the money, you've had to have known that there was a path where you have to let this guy go. All right, so playing this out as if, well, we want to see what we're going to get for him down. Nobody's going to give up anything for Brandon Aiyuk. Nobody's stupid. Okay, go ahead.
It's like they filed for divorce with Brandon Aiyuk. And Brandon Aiyuk is like, wants to go on dates and be single. And then Niners like, you're not divorced. The papers haven't been filed.
The papers aren't signed yet.
I'm still looking through your phone. I'm still like, what are you doing? Like, dude, let it go.
Let it go, bruh.
What are you tripping about? You filed for divorce. You don't want to be with this man anymore. He wants to move on too. Let him move on. What are you doing? Oh man, I saw Brandon last night. He was out. I couldn't believe it. What do you want from him, man?
You know he just wants to go over to that Commanders chick. Yes! Let him go!
Yes! Yes, go! Let him go!
They dated before you guys. Let him go. It's over.
Yeah.
That's
what it feels like.
There is a pettiness to this that the organization, they got to get out the way.
Do this. It doesn't make you look good, though. It makes you look like you're not over Aiyuk.
Yeah.
You signed Mike Evans. What do you care about Aiyuk?
But that's as far as I'm willing to take it, though, which is like, this is a bad look. But you're well within your right to do what you're doing.
You can do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it is a bad look.
It's a very bad look.
Let Brandon date Washington the way he wants to.
Let him go.
Warlord says, "Is Dave Barclay your burner?" No, he's a real person. He has a YouTube channel. He's 6'8", big dude. Met him. Good guy.
Dave Barclay's a horse.
Mike 505 IST says, "Draft the running back similar to CMC and transition CMC into the slot receiver." I get it's like draft the running back. Man, they did that the last
similar to CMC. What I mean, come on, man.
So like take a wide running back in the top 10. Isn't he kind of like a one-on-one? Kind of a one-on-one.
I just think because of what they're paying Christian, they are just always going to make sure he's the focal point at all times.
Malik Payton says, "Got to take this show on the tour." Tashu says, "Heard he didn't rehab correctly and is cooked now." Who'd you hear that from? Maybe. Blood Moon says, when has the Niners ever done this, coach? Done what?
What happened to
Held
BA?
guy hostage? Doesn't this send a message to others who do this?
Well, can we ask this as well?
Trying to send a message.
Is this unprecedented? Do you know a former statute where this has happened, where a guy's contract got voided this early into the contract? 1 year?
I can't think of it. I can't really think of it.
This is kind of like the first of its kind, honestly.
Yeah. Sean for the win says, "I fully support $28 million in pettiness. I bought his jersey and now it's useless. The players exercise the right to be petty all the time. I'm good with this kind of balance." Again, I feel you. I understand. But the question is, do you want to be like Moses and go eye for an eye? Or do you want to be like Jesus and turn the other cheek? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good question that I just asked. Was it a good question? Actually, it wasn't.
Do you want to be Moses or Jesus? Basically.
I'm in a car and like someone's little brother asked that question, but man, shut up.
Shut up. I want to be backslapped. Shut up.
Shut up. Asking stupid questions. You know what I saw for the first time last week? Colors.
Talk to me.
Have you seen that movie?
What? John Voight? Stop playing with me. Colors is the shit.
Not John Voight.
No. He played in
Robert
Open Range.
Duvall.
Robert Duvall. Colors was fire.
Sean Penn and Damon Wayans in like the funniest PCP crackhead role of all time, dude. Yeah.
Colors was fire, bro.
Me.
The ending was so sad.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna catch my breath.
That's where I first heard the walk down and get them all joke. That's where I heard the first walk down and get them all story when I watched Colors.
Yeah.
Colors was fire.
That's where that's from. Oh. Yeah. And then he tries to tell it to his new partner at the end and he kind of messes it up.
He messes it up.
Too eager. Yeah. And I like how it ends up with like, you know, they have that song, which is such a great Ice-T song. And they first play it in the prison when it's the Bloods and the Crips. But then they play it over the cops. Because the cops are kind of gangsters in that movie too. And it was originally Sean Penn. He was freaking ruthless. But then he saw what happened to Duvall, and I think he's going to sort of become the next Duvall. And you always got like this young, up-and-coming cop who wants to prove himself, at least in these movies. Good movie, man. Colors.
Yo,
Colors.
do you so have you seen Breaking'?
No.
Have you seen Beach Street?
No. I have gaps.
Get on that. Gaps. You just seen you seen Menace to Society, right? Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. Of course. Okay. Jason's Lyric?
No.
Dog.
But I've seen Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Okay.
I've seen.
I got you.
I didn't pass the test. I'm white.
I know you good. You good, man. You good, bro. You good. It's good.
Our rule Lestry says, "Love seeing Coach and Jesse back. Hope see them more." That's right, baby. All Niners says, "Will this be a fire Kyle and John season or not?" At some point, they got to win the Super Bowl to keep their jobs, right? At some point, you got to win the Super Bowl. No, I don't know. At some point,
they do have to do something.
I'm poor says, "Member for 102 months. Also, turn the other cheek. That's in the Bible. I ain't in there. Smack. I don't get it."
Also, turn the other cheek. That's in the Bible. I forget. I just a joke. I forget where that joke is from.
I still don't get it, but I like it. Okay, guys, that's the show. Dre Greenlaw back. Bryce Huff, good luck. Maxx Crosby definitely coming to the Niners because I said so. And when he does come, I'm taking a victory lap. And I want a Super Bowl ring. I want one. And then I want, what else do I want? $2 million cash. Remember in Dolby Menace when he's applying for a job? Desired salary.
Oh, yes.
$2 million.
$2 million. Sex? Yes, please.
Right? 6 deuce, baby. I love that movie, man. The Wayans are just hilarious to me. All of the Wayans.
They're a legacy
Keenan
dog.
Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Marlon, even Sean Wayans is funny to me.
They're all hilarious, man. Those are, I mean, In Living Color was the shit. Do you remember In Living Color?
The show wasn't that great, but I still watch it when it's on TV.
The Wayans Brothers is a hood classic. It's so bad that it's good.
Thank you. It's that bad, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad that it's good. I love the Wayans Brothers. Like, they don't try to be good. That's why, that's the essence of it.
Right. And like, Scary Movie was better than Scream. Scary Movie is one of the best spoof movies ever made. Love that fucking movie, dude. And they found Anna Faris.
It's a classic movie.
Anna Faris. And didn't they discover Jim Carrey too? Didn't like Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon? They brought him
In Living Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, In Living Color.
Just saying, man. I'm just
everybody over there. David Allen Greer, Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
All of those guys were over there. Jennifer Lopez. She was a fly girl.
She was a fly girl.
Yeah. Marlon Wayans was SW1. He was the DJ on the fire escape up top. You know what I'm saying? Those are the days, bro. I remember those days.
True. Me and the coach are talking to you about the 90s. It was a great time. I'm Porsche's breaking Kyler to the Vikings. Good for the Kyler to the Vikings. All right, let's talk about it.
Good job.
Is that true? Can we just, I mean, sometimes I just take people's word for it. Kyler Murray. Where you going?
Vikings.
For real?
Hold on. You want to see if it's confirmed?
Is it for real, for real?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Kyler Murray. No.
No, that's not true.
It's not true. See, that's why I taught. See, you can't trust anybody anymore.
We could have did a whole segment just off the word of a super chat.
Who did that? Who did that? I'm poor. This is why. This is why. Spreading misinformation. This what you, come on, dog.
Come on, dog.
Come on, dog. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. It's free agents week. Shit's happening. Man, what a great ending to this show. I'm so eloquent. Coach, great stuff.
You are. Thanks, great.
Kyler to the Vikings, man.